Hello everyone. In this video, we are going to discuss about some standard continuous time signals that are used as input in systems. This video covers the signals step, ramp, parabolic, impulse, rectangular pulse, triangular pulse, signum function, sinc function, and Gaussian function. Also, we will discuss different types of exponential signals and sinusoidal signals. We will see the representation of each signal with a mathematical expression and graphical plot. First basic signal is unit step function. It is an important signal used for analysis of many systems. The amplitude of the step function is 0 when t is less than 0, and step function has amplitude a when t is greater than or equal to 0. So the signal exists only for positive values of t. In step function, if the amplitude a is equal to 1, then it is called unit step signal. Mathematically, continuous time unit step signal is defined as u of t is equal to 1 for t greater than or equal to 0 and 0 for t less than 0. Generally, the notation used to represent continuous time step signal is u of t. The graphical representation of u of t is shown in figure. The figure clearly shows that the signal is 1 when t is positive and it is 0 when t is negative. Next, the basic step signal can be shifted right side or left side is called the shifted unit step function. It is denoted by u of t minus a. And it is defined as u of t minus a is equal to 1 for t minus a is greater than or equal to 0, or simply we can say that t is greater than or equal to a, and it is 0 for t minus a is less than 0, or simply t is less than a. The shifted step signal is shown in figure. Here, the signal is delayed by a units. We can also shift the signal left side of 0 axis. Then it is denoted by u of t plus a and is known as advanced step signal. Next standard continuous time signal is unit ramp function. It is denoted by r of t and is defined as r of t is equal to t when t is greater than or equal to 0, and it is 0 for t is less than 0. The ramp signal is shown in figure. It shows that when t is equal to 0, r of t is also 0, and when t is equal to 1, r of t is equal to 1. When t is equal to 2, r of t is equal to 2. So generally it is defined as r of t is equal to t. And for negative values of t, the signal is 0. Next, r of t can also be written as t into u of t, where we know that u of t is unit step signal and it is 1 for positive values of t. So, by multiplying t with the unit step function, we will get unit ramp function. Ramp function can also be obtained by applying unit step to an integrator. R of t is equal to integral u of t dt. We know that u of t is equal to 1 and integration of 1 with respect to t is t, that is ramp signal. And by differentiating unit ramp, we will get unit step. U of t is equal to d by dt of r of t. We know that r of t is t, so dt by dt is equal to 1, which is unit step u of t. Next signal is unit parabolic function. It is denoted by P of t and is defined as P of t is equal to t square by 2 for t is greater than or equal to 0 and 0 for t is less than 0. The figure shows the unit parabolic signal. For all the unit signals, amplitude A is equal to 1. Here also, if it is simply a parabolic signal, then it is denoted by P of t is equal to at square by 2. But we are discussing about unit parabolic function for which a is equal to 1. So that it is given that P of t is equal to t square by 2. Next, P of t can also be written as t square by 2 into u of t. We know that u of t is equal to 1 for positive values of t and is 0 for negative values of t. So, while multiplying t square by 2 with the u of t, we will get t square by 2 for positive values of t and 0 for negative values of t. So that it can be written as P of t is equal to t square by 2 into u of t. Next, the relation between unit ramp function and unit parabolic function. Unit parabolic function can be obtained by integrating the unit ramp function. P of t is equal to integral r of t dt. We know that r of t is equal to t. So, integration of t with respect to t is t square by 2. Similarly, ramp function is the derivative of parabolic function. While differentiating parabolic function, we will get ramp function. Next, we are going to see a very important standard signal used as input for studying systems behavior, which is unit impulse function. It occupies an important place in signal analysis. The signal has value only at t is equal to 0 and it has 0 amplitude everywhere except t is equal to 0. It is defined as integral minus infinity to plus infinity del of t dt is equal to 1 for t is equal to 0, or simply we can say that del of t is equal to 1 at t is equal to 0 and del of t is equal to 0 when t is not equal to 0. The signal is shown in figure. See here, it has value only at t is equal to 0. Unit impulse can also be obtained by using a limiting process on the rectangular pulse function. The figure shows the rectangular pulse function. The width of the pulse is tau. The pulse varies from minus tau by 2 to plus tau by 2. So, the total width is equal to tau. If the width of the pulse is reduced to 0, then we will get impulse function. This unit impulse function is also known as Dirac delta function, and the area under the unit impulse is always unity. Next, shifted unit impulse. The shifted unit impulse is defined as integral minus infinity to plus infinity del of t minus t naught dt is equal to 1 for t minus t naught is equal to 0, or simply we can say that t is equal to t naught, and the signal is 0 for t minus t naught not equal to 0, or t is not equal to t naught. The shifted impulse is shown in figure. Here, the impulse signal is shifted by t naught units. Next signal is rectangular pulse function. It is denoted by pi of t and is defined as pi of t is equal to 1 for modulus t is less than or equal to 1 by 2, which means the signal is 1 when t varies from minus 1 by 2 to plus 1 by 2 and the signal is 0 for all other values of t. The rectangular pulse is shown in figure. It has amplitude equal to 1. So it is a unit rectangular pulse function. Triangular pulse function. Unit triangular pulse function is defined as triangle of t is equal to 1 minus modulus t by a for modulus t less than or equal to a, and it is 0 for modulus t greater than a. The triangular pulse function is shown in figure. This function has amplitude 1. So it is a unit triangular pulse signal. Next continuous time signal is signum function. Unit signum function is defined as signum of t is equal to 1 when t is greater than 0, 0 when t is equal to 0 and minus 1 when t is less than 0. The signum function is shown in figure. From the figure, it is clear that for positive values of t, the amplitude is 1. So, when t is greater than 0, the amplitude is 1. And for the negative values of t, the amplitude is minus 1. So, when t is less than 0, the amplitude is minus 1. Next, the signum function can also be written in terms of unit step function. Signum of t is equal to minus 1 plus 2 into u of t. We know that u of t is equal to 1 when t is greater than 0 and it is 0 when t is less than 0. So, 2 into u of t is the signal which has amplitude 2 when t is greater than 0 and 0 when t is less than 0. And minus 1 is a signal which has amplitude minus 1 from minus infinity to plus infinity. So now we have two signals. One is from minus infinity to plus infinity, the amplitude is minus 1, and another signal has amplitude 2 when t is greater than 0 and 0 when t is less than 0. We have to add these two signals. So in the positive sides we have 2 in this signal and for this signal we have minus 1. So while adding these two we will get 1 in the positive side. Similarly for the negative side this signal is 0 and this signal is minus 1. So minus 1 plus 0 it is minus 1. So in the negative side we will get minus 1. That is the signum function. Next, sinc function. Sinc function is defined by the expression sinc of t is equal to sine pi t by pi t in the interval minus infinity to plus infinity. A plot of sinc function is shown in figure. This signal has maximum amplitude at t is equal to 0. Next standard continuous time signal is Gaussian function. Gaussian function is defined by the expression g of t is equal to e power minus a t square. The figure shows the Gaussian signal. It's a bell-shaped curve. It's mainly used in probability theory. Continuous time sinusoidal signal. A continuous time sinusoidal signal is given by x of t is equal to a sine omega t plus phi, where a is the amplitude, omega is the frequency in radians per second, and phi is the phase angle in radians. The figure shows the waveform of a sinusoidal signal. For unit sinusoidal signal, the value of a is equal to 1. Next, we are going to discuss about exponential signals. There are two types of exponential signals, real exponential and complex exponential. First we will see about real exponential signals. A real exponential signal is defined as x of t is equal to a into e power at, where this capital A denotes the amplitude of the signal. For unit signals, amplitude A is equal to 1. And depending on the value of this small a, we will get different types of exponential signal. If this small a is positive, then x of t is a growing exponential signal. One such type of signal is shown in figure B. If a is negative, then x of t is a decaying exponential signal. It is shown in figure C. And if a is equal to 0, then x of t is a constant signal. If a is equal to 0, we will get e power 0. E power 0 is equal to 1. 1 into a is a. So, we will get a constant DC signal. Another type of exponential signal is complex exponential signal. General form of complex exponential signal is x of t is equal to e power st, where s is a complex variable defined as s is equal to sigma plus j omega. So, x of t can be written as e power sigma plus j omega into t. So, depending on the value of sigma and omega, we will get different types of complex exponential signal. Case 1, sigma equal to 0 and omega equal to 0. So, we will get x of t is equal to e power 0. We know that e power 0 is equal to 1. We will get a constant DC signal. So, for case 1, sigma equal to 0, omega equal to 0, we will get a constant DC signal. Then case 2. So, in case 2, sigma exists, sigma is not equal to 0, but omega is equal to 0. So, this equation becomes x of t is equal to e power sigma t. It's like a real exponential signal. We know that in real exponential signal, depending on the value of sigma, we will get two different signals. If sigma is greater than 0, the signal is growing exponential signal, and if sigma is less than 0, the signal is decaying exponential signal. So, for case 2, the signal is exponential signal. Two types of exponential signal, growing and decaying exponential signals. Then case 3. For case 3, sigma equal to 0, but omega is not equal to 0. So, this equation becomes x of t is equal to e power j omega t. This can be written as cos omega t plus j sin omega t. So, it's a sinusoidal signal. The signal is shown in figure B. And the next case, both sigma and omega exist. Sigma is not equal to 0 and omega is also not equal to 0. So, in that two cases are there. First case, sigma is less than 0 with a finite omega. Then the signal is exponentially decaying sinusoidal signal. The signal is shown in figure C, exponentially decaying sinusoidal signal. And the next case is sigma greater than 0 with a finite omega. Then the signal is exponentially growing sinusoidal signal. So, the last case, exponentially growing sinusoidal signal, which is shown in figure D. So, in this video, we have discussed about various elementary continuous time signals. We have seen the mathematical as well as graphical representation of such continuous time signals. Thanks for watching.